So this is the self-defense panel. And a lot of people think that self-defense is just how to hit good, how to kick good, how to throw people on the ground. 90% of self-defense happens way, way, way before you even see the other person. Self-defense is generally broken down into basically two categories. There is physical self-defense and non-physical self-defense. Non-physical would be your preventative stuff, your, making sure that nothing actually happens to you in the first place. Because you don't want to get into a fight. Trust me, I've gotten into a few, they're not fun. Okay, they kind of are, but that's because I'm a sadist. So what is preventative self-defense? Preventative self-defense, I'm pretty sure most people already practice a little bit of it. You don't want to park your car in a dark part of the parking lot where there's no street lamps. If you hear somebody call your name out in an alleyway, you're probably like, oh, I'm not going to go down that alleyway. That's some preventative self-defense. You're keeping yourself out of a situation that could be dangerous, and that's all that is. So basically, in order for an attack to happen, for somebody to do bodily harm to you, there's three things that they need to do. They need to have the desire to do it, they need to have the opportunity to do it, and they need to have the ability to do it. If you knock out one of those three things, your chances of being attacked are greatly reduced. So how do we fix that? How do we make sure that we can, generally speaking, always get away with not getting attacked by knocking out one of those three things, right? Well, there's a couple steps that you can take. You can be aware of your surroundings. You can avoid dangerous situations. You can de-escalate dangerous situations. And then the final one is making sure that you are clearing your space, setting boundaries. So all of those four things that you're doing should be able to mitigate the three things that they need in order to attack you. So, for example, desire. The desire to attack you. That one's a little hard to always get right, to always be able to knock out, because some people are just not going to like you. You can do as much as you can to, be unassuming and not let people hate on you, but I'm pretty sure we all are at least a little bit on the LGBT spectrum here, right? And we all know that means that you're in danger quite often from pretty mean and aggressive people. So that one's not always going to work. So what ones can we take care of? Well, we can take care of opportunity. Opportunity, if we remove their opportunity to attack you, that's super helpful. So doing things like, again, parking under street lamps if you're in a parking lot. If you're able to be seen by multiple people, if you're in a public area where a lot of people have their eyes on you, you're less likely to get attacked. What else can you do? You can sit, if you're going to the restaurant, does anybody's dad sit with their back to the wall facing the entrance? That's removing opportunity. Nobody's going to come in behind them, and they can see everybody who comes into the restaurant. They're removing an opportunity to attack you. What are some other things? How many people, when they get out of the grocery store, they walk to their car, they get in their car, they turn their car on, for about 5 minutes they pull out their phone and check their phone? You do that? Who else does that? Raise your hands. Yeah. So you're not aware of your surroundings at all because you're looking at your phone, and you're just sitting there. Somebody could come up to the side of your car, knock on your window, and now you're in trouble because you've got somebody in your space and you don't know what's going to happen. So, easiest way to avoid that situation is to remove yourself from the parking lot as fast as you can. Get in the car, get the car started, get rolling, and then take care of anything like at a stop sign, or when you get home. Your phone will be there when you're home. I know, it's hard to believe. So those are a couple of things that you can do to remove opportunity. Then you can remove ability. So if somebody really wants to deck you one, right? And they throw a hand and you slip and it goes swinging, you just removed ability. They want to hurt you, but if they can't hit you, they can't hurt you. So that's one way to remove ability. The other way is to have, a group of friends with you. If you're traveling with a group of friends, one guy might get mad at you and might want to throw hands, but then they see that there's, 5, 6, 10, 15 other people with you. They might be less inclined to. That's removing ability, right? So we talked about all of the things that you can do to remove any of those 3 pieces from an attack. But let's talk a little bit more about the 4 habits that you should get into, right? Keeping aware, we've already gone over a little bit of it. Aware of your surroundings, keep your eyes and ears open, right? So awareness can be anything from, being able to pick out that, we've got the fursuit there, we've got the blue hair there, we've got the yellow shirt with the pit vipers on over there, we got the pink hat right there, Hi, Katrina. Aware of your surroundings. I'm looking at you, but I can see all around me in my peripheral vision. You can train that. You can see motion. You can see movement. Don't pick your nose. You can train yourself to pick out weird movement in your peripheral vision or pick out details in your peripheral vision. And that's something that can keep you a little bit more aware of anything going on around you. So if somebody's having a conversation off to the side and you're not really paying too much attention, but you see them start pumping their fists or throwing their hands up like that, some shit's about to go down over there. I might want to walk over here, right? So that's visual awareness. There's also keeping your ears open, right? And that can be anything from being able to tell the tone of a crowd. Like if you go into a bar and it's just normal blah, blah, blah background noise, and then you can start to hear things get more aggressive, shouting, angry tones. They don't even have to be shouting. If somebody's whispering, hey, what'd you say to me? Being able to pick that up, that change in auditory tone in a group, super useful. Also super useful if you're walking down the street. And you're walking, if you're alone, it's easier to pick out, but say you're walking in a crowd and you hear some heavy stomps, heavy boot falls, heavy whatever running up behind you. If you can pick out somebody running in a crowd without having to see them, that's super useful too. So keeping your ears open can help improve your ability to defend yourself. Because if you're just standing there walking down the road, minding your own business, and you don't hear somebody run up behind you, somebody runs up behind you, grabs your purse, grabs your phone, grabs whatever's out of your hand, or just hits you on the back of the head. I mean, those pit vipers are nice. I might take them. I'd have to jump a little, though. You're a little too tall. So that's awareness, keeping aware of your surroundings. And that's just visual and audio awareness. You ever go to a party and you're not really feeling the vibes? I don't know. I'm here, but I'm not really digging it. That could be your body just telling you to get out. Something subconscious in your brain, in your gut, feelings, whatever, is telling you, I don't really feel comfortable here. I need to leave. I mean, your body's had thousands of years of evolution to tell you when you're in a dangerous situation. Listen to it. If the vibes are off, be gone. So that's keeping awareness. Being aware of things helps you avoid things, right? like I said, we're walking down the street. We're going to walk down a hypothetical street, right? And there's an alleyway right there. And it's dark, and I don't know who's hiding in the alleyway. So instead of being like, it's fine. I grew up in New York. I don't care. I'm tough. I'm going to go, nope, and cross the street. If I can't see down a dark alleyway, I'm going to avoid it. That's what everybody should do, is avoid things that are dangerous to you, things that you don't feel like super safe about. Just remove yourself from the situation. Self-defense can really just be removing yourself from the defense. Get out of there. So that's awareness and avoidance. Mitigation's a great one. I love mitigation because it's super fun. Because it lets me be a smartass. So I'm at a bar. This actually happened. I'm at a bar in 2016, and I'm just hanging out, chilling, having a couple of drinks. And, I'm looking around, looking up and down the bar, and the guy down the row from me must have thought I was checking out his girlfriend, because he got really mad at me. And he comes over all huffy and puffy, like, "What's up, dude?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, man, what's up?" He's like, staring at my girlfriend. I'm like, "Is that Katrina? I think I went to church with her in like 2006. What's her name? Is it Katrina? Because I swear I've seen her before." And just something that easy is, instead of going like, "Yeah, I was, what of it?" Just being like, "Oh, I thought I knew the person, so I was like checking like to make sure." I wanted to know who they, like, if I knew them before I made any judgment, and been like, "Hey, how's it going?" Because nobody wants to walk up on a conversation and be like, "Hey, I know you. I went to school with you like 20 years ago." And you're like, "No habla inglés?" I'm like, "Oh, maybe I didn't go to school with you. My mistake. Sorry, bye." So mitigation allows you to think on your feet, use charisma, use being kind of a smartass to basically be like, "Hey, I wasn't doing anything. Like, if I'm staring at you, I'm gonna look off over at you, because those pit vipers are nice." And that's the thing, right? Like, I'm just staring over you because I know you're Nick. I know you. Like, we're buddies. But I'm able to deflect that and say, "No, those are nice pit vipers. I like that. I like those pit vipers. I want them. Where'd you pick those up? How much were they? What was the store?" Right? And just that conversation can take so much out of somebody. If they're all puffed up and inflated and ready to go, and you're just like, teal Crocs. I love those teal Crocs. I bet they're super comfy, right? That's my favorite flavor of Monster Energy drink. The Boomer Juice, I love it. Right? I could take so much aggression and so much like anger and big ego, and I can deflate it real quick just by complimenting them. Asking them about their fashion choices. Being personable. That can mitigate quite a lot. It can mitigate a lot better than, "Hey man, I don't want any trouble." Like, yeah, looking meek can help somewhat, but if somebody's real pissed off, they don't care. Like, yeah, you're gonna get trouble. What of it? And then they're gonna swing on you. It's not like the movies where it's like, "Help me, I'm a cowering, I am pathetic, I don't want to." Like, that doesn't always work, because sometimes that just makes them angrier. So, mitigation is super useful. Practice it. Annoy your friends and then compliment them. Get them really mad at you and then give them lots of love, right? Come here. So that's mitigation. And then the last one is boundary setting, right? I don't want somebody in my personal space. I don't want to have to touch them to let them know that they're in my personal space, because that can incite things. But I want them to be able to not swing on me. I want them to know that this is not a comfortable and closeness. So I'm going to actually use Paul. Can you stand up here real quick? Right at the center. Paul, everybody. Paul is beautiful. I love him. Hi, Paul. So here's a really easy way to set boundaries, right? We're up right like this. This is too close for me. I don't like this distance because it limits the amount of reaction time I have if they want to do something. So a good way to set boundary, just turn off to the side. Open it up. Now instead of facing off with somebody and getting up in their grill, we're having a conversation. This is a great way to set boundary because we're the same distance apart, but they're not, there's no wall-to-wall, like, big macho, like, yeah, what's up, boy? You want to go? You want to go? We're going to swing hands? No. Hey, did you catch the game last night? No? I didn't either. I was watching the X Games. That one dude, he ate shit on that triple backflip. It was great. That's one way to set boundary. Just using your own body to say, this is the space I want to operate at now. I don't want to be facing you. I don't want to be that close. I just turn out. Boom. And if they follow you over, well then guess what? They're not letting me leave. The fight has happened now. A fight isn't when the first punch is thrown. A fight is everything leading up to the first punch, right? If I'm like, hey, I want to get out of here, man. I just want to go to my car. Can you let me go to my car? I want to go to my car. He's not letting me through. Guess what? Legally, you can hit him. Because he's restricting my ability to move freely. I'm in fear. He's not letting me do what I want to do. This is a fight. Before any punches are thrown, that's a fight. But what other things can we do to set boundaries so that we're not getting into that fight? Right? Obviously, you can do this, but nobody likes getting touched. Hey, 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 hey. So if maybe the fight's about to happen, we do this. If there's nothing else that you can do, then we put our hands out. Because that gives me more reactionary space. That gives me more control. He can push in on me as much as he wants to, right? And if I want to, I can push back. I can let him push me. And then if he continues to push me, I can collapse and get out of there. So those are the 4 things you want to practice: awareness, avoidance, mitigation, boundary setting. So that's preventative self-defense, right? I'm going to check the time real quick to see if we're on schedule or if I need to talk more, if I need to talk less. We're about 20 minutes in. We're about 20 minutes in, so I can go. Oh, you want to go? Oh, I guess we're doing it now. So that's preventative self-defense. That keeps you from getting into the fight. What happens when we're in the fight already? Welcome to physical self-defense. This is where I excel. I'm going to turn off the microphone and have to speak up a little louder, but... All right. So, we're going to go right in. Boom. Boom. All right. I like it. You went a little high.
Okay.
So what I want you to do, deep breath.
Okay. All right.
Boom, boom. There we go. There we go. That felt good. In the neck too. All right. No, you're good. Anybody else want to try? Come on up. All right. So all I want you to do, hands up, boom, step directly in, lead with the forearms. Boom. Okay. Turn the hands up. There you go. Cool. I want to try it one more time and chain it all together. Boom. All right, cool. All right. Any more volunteers, or should I move on to the next one? Step right up. And the next one. If you want to, get in a line. Beat me up.
Gladly.
Alright, so take your hand, up, make sure to cover that. You want to drive this and this into this and this. Okay? So, boom, boom, there we go. Loved it. That was actually perfect. Yep. Right, and boom, boom, there we go. Good energy, loved it. All right. You want to do it? All right, cool. Boom, boom. Make sure to hold.
Like stage that, I gotta go to the
Boom, there we go. Cool. All right. Next one we're gonna do is a takedown defense. So usually when you start hitting on people, they get real sick of it. So the next thing they try to do is take you to the ground. They want to do a football tackle. It's usually a really shitty like football spear. Nobody trains the double leg or the single leg or the knee peg. No, they all they want to do is just come right in and go drive you into a wall, right? So in order to deal with that, I'm going to go slow. I'm not going to show the whole technique because I don't have a crash pad underneath me, and I don't want to drive Paul into dirt and dust. I don't have the insurance for it. That's the real problem. So what Paul is going to do is he's going to come in for like a really shitty football tackle, right? I'm going to put my hands down. First thing I want to do is get one hand to one side of his head, and the other hand to the other side of his head, right? Then I'm kicking my legs out as far as I can, right? And basically that is so that he can't grab them, right? He can grab this one, but I'm not kicking this out because I don't want to collapse on him. Because that's the last part of this. Both of my legs get kicked out really wide, really far. I drive my hips towards the ground. Paul comes down like that. And we are in what's called a sprawl. So from here, I can either try and get his head, or I can transition to side. From the side, I can transition to the back. From the back, I've got a choke, right? Now, I never really recommend going to the ground in a street fight, in a self-defense situation, because you don't know how many other guys are going to be there. But if you can stop somebody who's going for the takedown, you don't have to continue on the ground. Come in for another tackle, boom, stop. I'm still on my feet. I stuff the takedown, go to the sprawl, shove off, continue to stand up. He's still on the ground, you can get a soccer kick in. If it works, it works. So that's not one that we can really do much practice of, but I do recommend, I'm losing the voice here. I do recommend, hello? Hello, 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 hello. Microphone. Hello? Me and technology do not mix. There we go. All right. I recommend going to a class. There's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and UFC and MMA and all sorts of classes all over the country. If you want to learn more on how to not go to the ground and how to defend yourself if you do go to the ground, I would recommend a wrestling class or a jiu-jitsu class. Because you can say, oh, I don't go to a ground in the street fight. It's dangerous. You never go to the ground in the street fight. You can say that every single day of your life. And if you don't know how to not go to the ground, guess where you're going to end up. So, one of the last things I want to show off, well, I got ample time. We've got time for questions after this too, is choke defenses. Right? So we're going to go with the regular Hollywood choke, and I might show a couple of the good choke defenses as well. So you finally get your revenge. You can choke me. So we've got the neck, right? He's got both hands around my neck. I don't want to fight this because I kind of can, but if he's really got me, if he's really pushing, it's hard to peel a single finger or peel all of this or anything like that. So instead, I'm going to not focus on this, but focus on this. I have 3 different techniques that I do to get out of a choke like this. Number 1 and 2 come from Thailand. They're called the elephant's tusk and the elephant's trunk. So the elephant's trunk looks like this. I come up, and then I come straight down. And I'm attacking his elbow joints with my forearms. I'm pushing through here, and from here, I can deliver a strike. I can go to the clinch and deliver strikes. I can go to the clinch and deliver strikes. As soon as I break that press, here to here, his hands are free from my neck. I have a lot of options for follow-up. Follow-ups are a dime a dozen. Whatever works, whatever flavor, you know. Variety is the spice of life. Hey, I like, honestly, the way I was shown how to do this one, we'll do it one more time. The guy who taught me how to do this goes from here to the classic Thai uppercut and then comes in for the clinch, just a single arm, and coconut the table. That was what he liked to do. Personally, I like bam, bam, drag him to the ground, stomp. I'm a little bit of I'm an in-fighter and I'm a dirty fighter. That's the Kali Eskrima. That's the Filipino martial arts. Filipino martial arts is literally like, we're fighting. I step on his toe, push, he can't come back, right? Bam! Dirty fighting is my thing. So that's the elephant's trunk. Then there's the elephant's tusk. So trunk go down, tusk come up. From here, I've got his arms here, and I can drag him around, or I can shoot for the under-over, judo throw him, right? Or I can go straight into the clinch again, and go dancing on his face with my knees. So we're going to show the tusks one more time. The tusks are super simple. They come up from low, and when you make this hit, elbows slightly out, and you're driving a wedge up and through. Right? And from here, hands are together already. You can just loop on around on the back side and get that. You guys see that good? Okay, cool. So that's the elephant's trunk and the elephant's tusk. The third technique, this one's pretty simple. Teacher, I have a question. Why are you choking me? I don't like it. So this one's really easy. They've got your neck, right? Stick your hand straight up, turn your whole body. You're collapsing over top of their arms. And now I have control of their arms for a couple of seconds before they're able to rip them out. But for those couple of seconds, right, I can yank, I can throw elbows, I can throw a palm strike. Never recommend throwing a punch in a street fight, just because this is a lot of little bones. And this is one great big bone. When little bones make contact with big bone, they go ouch. This is a big bone. If this makes contact with this, they get the ouch. So those are 3 ways to get out of a choke. Just a regular old Hollywood choke. Does anybody want to try that one? Come on up. You're eager, I like it. So, you can do any of the 3. There's the trunk, the tusk, or the turn. All right? So I'm going to put my hands on your neck, go for it, and turn. And then you've got whatever you want with me. Yeah, there you go. So that's one. All right? Yeah, absolutely. If you want to try and run, let's go for it. All right? So I'm on your neck, up, push right down. Ooh, there we go. There you go. Let's go. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Form a line. If you want to try, just get in line. All right. All right. So I'm going to put my hands on your neck, right? Up. Oh, yeah, you can do whatever you want. Oh, yeah, you can get the double underhook, the under overhook, whatever you want to do. Right.
I'm always down to be choked.
There was a line last year too. So go up. There you go. Yeah, throw that elbow. That works. All right. All right. Sumo pose. Right. Down and push. Right there. There you go. See how well that worked? I had a grip on him. He's still boom got me. All right, let's go. Let's go. It's gonna be a little hard to back. Over here, right? Boom. There you go. You didn't even get, you over-rotated. You got it. Let's go. All right. Let's go. Let's go. So, hands on your neck. There you go. Wherever you want. Up, out. There you go. You broke it. Woo! People looking from up above, right? And up. There you go. You got the back of the head. From the back of the head, you can drive a knee in. Go for it. Cool. All right. I'll put my hands on your neck. And go for it. There you go. You're up and out. It's that easy. This grip is very easy to break if you attack everywhere except for their hands. Right? Hands on the neck. However you want to do it. Go for it. Here we go. He went straight for the under and overhook too. He had one hand under, one hand over. If he wanted to. Whee! I go flying. All right. What's the time we got? 12:09. Okay. So I'm going to show off another choke defense. This is for a more serious choke. This is a headlock choke or a rear naked choke or whatever kind of choke you want to call it. So if Paul has me around the neck, right? Like this, he's pressing in. I don't have a lot of time. 6 seconds most is how much time I have between loose and tight and asleep, right? So I'm going to grab here to try and dig my chin into the forearm. So I'm using my chin to block the choke, right? From here, I step out to the outside, I reach through, I grab the leg, and we go up, and we go down. Right? I don't want to toss you to the ground because this is not very forgiving. Yeah, it's a little hard. But that's one way to do it. If he's got it really sunk in, and he's really torquing me so I can't do that, sit straight down, and push out. Okay? We'll do a guillotine choke too, because this one's really fun. So, I'm going to go in like this. You're going to take and back up, right? Get it nice and sunk in there, nice and tight, right? From here, my head's really tight in there. I can, sink it in tight, go for it. I can try and, it's very difficult, right? Nope, take a knee. If I take a knee, it rotates the back of my head, so it's not being pressed here, it's being pressed here, and then I slide right up. So that's a bunch of different choke defenses. Does anybody have any questions? Shoot. Knives are very dangerous. Filipino martial arts is all based on weapons. It's stick fighting and knife fighting and sword fighting. Very rarely it goes to empty hands in wrestling. They actually, unlike most martial arts, they're like, you have to be a black belt before we give you a weapon. You walk up to an escrimador and say, I want to practice eskrima. They're like, good, here, have a stick. I've worked with knives more than anything else, they scare the shit out of me. If a knife is drawn on me, my first reaction is to do this. But if you can't run, if you have to stay, and you have to defend yourself, and maybe you're not defending yourself, maybe you're defending somebody else who can't run. You know? Maybe you're up against the wall and you have no exit escape, right? Instead of all of the Detroit urban survival tactics to help improve your life expectancy, instead of doing his like, I'm gonna grab here and I'm gonna turn here and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this, and then I strip the knife and then magic fairies come out of nowhere and stab him for me. That stuff's not happening. Knife disarms where you have 12 steps to get to a grip strip. They might work once every 100 times, but I would rather not get stabbed 99 times so that I can't be stabbed 100 times. I'd rather just not be stabbed. So when I'm dealing with a knife attack, or like somebody with a knife, my instinct isn't to grab, to grip, to twist, to pry. I'm parrying. He comes in for the stab. I'm parrying the stab. I'm slapping the hand away, and I'm moving offline. Right? Maybe afterwards I have something. Right? After a parry, I might have something. Okay? Do the sewing machine. So this is a very common attack. It's called the sewing machine. And that's where they grab behind the neck and start driving in. So here, generally speaking, I want to form an X because it's sturdy and it blocks, it has a higher chance of blocking than if I just try and grab the hand like this, right? If I can do this, right, he goes in for the stab and he goes back to stab again, then I can transition to covering the hands 2-on-1, and I can try pinning it to the leg, right? From there, hold on for dear life and hope that you do better than they do, because they're gonna try and continue to move around and stab, and maybe I feel something and I do an arm drag, right? And I can get out of their line and I can book it, or I can do an arm drag and get their back and put them on the ground and start raining down. Ouch, right? But if somebody's stabbing at me, I'm going for a parry. It's a lot harder to pull off than most anything else because it requires good timing, good hand-eye coordination, lots of confidence, and the willingness to get stabbed once or twice. Dan Inosanto, who's the instructor for my particular type of Filipino martial arts, said, there's no winners in a knife fight. There's a guy who goes to the ER and there's a guy who goes to the morgue. That's it. The guy in the ER might go to the morgue later, but your best bet is to run. If you can't run, parry. If you can't parry, pray. So that's how you deal with a knife. Is that adequate? Shoot. So use their weight against them is kind of a marketing term. You're still using your strength. You are trying to use their momentum to keep them offline. But even if Paul is like a skilled knife fighter and he's not going for the deep lunge, right? Circle and just go for like boxing jabs, right? Right? Keep going. Move it around. Right? I'm trying to cover everything, and if I get the chance, get off of his line. Because if I can parry here, boom, I can grab here maybe and do an arm drag, or I can parry and step out, and hopefully get to an area where there's less of a chance, right? If I can get to here, right? If I've got something like this, like 2-on-1, where I've got both of his hands pretty much under control here, I carry a knife, click, stick. He's got a knife, why can't I have a knife? Bam, 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 bam. It's about not so much using their weight against them as it is not letting them stick you with the pointy end by any means necessary. All right, do I have another question? I think you had your hand raised. Yeah.
On that, the last example you showed us when you dropped your knee, how do we know which knee to drop on?
So basically the way you know which knee to drop onto, so if you come in, if he's got me here, yeah, the guillotine, he's got me here, right? He's to my right, my lead leg is my left leg, it's my rear leg that goes down, right? So if I'm the other direction where my right leg is forward, it's my left leg that goes down. It's whatever leg is in the back. So preferably whatever leg is in the back is also the one that's on the side with the rest of their body. Because if I'm here, go for the guillotine, if I'm here like this, I got other problems, right? One, my wrestling's crap because I'm leading with my lead leg. Two, I don't know why he went for this. If this leg is so exposed, he could have gone for a knee pick and I'd be on my back. From here, my best bet is to go for his leg. So, the way you find it out is whichever leg is behind is the one you want to go to. And take a knee. Any other questions? Shoot. So, a smaller person, the best form of self-defense for smaller people, honestly, it's whatever you like. Because I can tell you, oh yeah, jiu-jitsu's made for small people to fight big people. Yeah, we saw UFC 1. Royce Gracie weighed 140 pounds, and he made a 450-pound sumo wrestler tap out. That's a small guy going up a big guy. Jiu-jitsu must be magic. Well, it is, if you're really into it. I won't tell you to go to do something if you're not going to enjoy doing it. So, if you like jiu-jitsu, do jiu-jitsu. If you like Muay Thai, do Muay Thai. If you like boxing, do boxing. I'll tell you what, you're a little small, yeah, well, probably, what, 100 pounds at most, 110? This guy, who weighs 120 pounds, his name is Ryan Garcia. He's a super welterweight, I believe, is the weight class. Boxer. For Golden Boy Boxing. And his body shots will rupture your everything. I've seen him do celebrity body shots where he takes somebody, puts a belly pad on them, which is a boxing tool, to train body shots. And he'll stand there, and he'll come in, and he'll do a hook to the belly pad. And he'll do it to bodybuilders, he'll do it to other UFC fighters, he'll do it to boxers, and they'll drop. Being small, it's not an advantage, it's a disadvantage. I'm not going to tell you it's not. But you have a couple of different things you got going for you. It's really hard to punch somebody when they're down here, because your training is to punch here. And you don't have to punch down, you can punch up. Punching up, right? If I'm punching straight, I have to worry about all of this. But if I'm punching up, right, my hits have a better fulcrum. If I'm punching a straight punch from here, it's going straight into the back, into the neck, and then going back. But if I punch straight from here, it's going up. And I can use more of my legs to go up. So, being smaller, your best form of self-defense is to just train like crazy. Train like the next time you get into a fight, it's your last time. Train like you don't ever want to be a victim. That's how you train for self-defense if you're smaller. Do I have any other questions? Man, I bought a Nerf gun for this whole thing, and nobody's gonna ask any gun questions because of the stupid idiot on TikTok who does dust stuff. I hate that.
So I think I didn't realize you did all of because I knew you did jiu-jitsu. I didn't know you did all the other martial arts as well. Because I take a few jiu-jitsu classes, and I've kind of gotten into it a little bit, and then again, and then I couldn't do classes anymore. I constructed that. It's something I like to get back into. But I mean, do you see a need? I mean, if you know jiu-jitsu and you're really good at it, do you see a need for other martial arts? Or do you think you
Absolutely.
really?
I think that you absolutely have a need for other martial arts, even if you do jiu-jitsu. Especially modern jiu-jitsu. Because if you go and train at Gracie Barra, if you train with the Gracies, who like are the originators of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and you train in full gi, like they'll teach you how to throw slaps and punches as well, but they're not as good. They're not. Their punches and slaps are more as like a way to distract somebody, so that I can like slap them and then get a
They took
femoral.
lessons with the Gracie.
Yeah.
Steve, they just said just punch them or whatever.
Yeah. It works great as a complement to the jiu-jitsu, but here's the issue. Jiu-jitsu means you're on the ground. Well, how did you get to the ground? Did you want to go to the ground? You should be able to defend yourself at any range, at any angle. So, if I'm going to the ground, I'm not going to be like, hey man, what's up? You want to go? You want to go? Come on. Come on, let's go. You want to fight me? You want to fight me? Let's go. Right? You've been to jiu-jitsu class. That butt shuffle is a classic. You want to be able to do other things. Boxing, Muay Thai, Sabat, Sambo. Sambo's terrifying. It's judo, jiu-jitsu, karate, boxing, kickboxing, and all of that stuff combined. Plus, it's a Russian martial art, so you know they do everything as scary as possible. One of the last things they teach you how to do in Sambo is they want you to do a backflip, and then when you land, throw an axe. And you gotta hit the target, because if you don't, you gotta do it again. And Sambo, when they do their takedowns, like a wrestling takedown, you come in, you get the legs, you flop them over, and then you go to the side. Sambo's like, why do you let go of legs? Keep their leg, hold leg, drag them around the ground, right? Break the knee. Sambo fighters are scary. So yeah, absolutely. Take other martial arts. Take boxing. Take historical European martial arts and learn how to fence with a saber. I don't know, man.
All right, since you brought it up earlier, what do you do if somebody has you?
Somebody has a gun. All right. This is a parlor trick. I want to preface this. Still got lots of time. This is a parlor trick. As in, even if you're skilled, even if you're fast, even if you know everything that you're doing, it's a gun. It's fast. Now you have a couple of advantages on your side, and that's why I say this is a parlor trick. Your action time is faster than their reaction time. The fastest possible reaction time, I think, it's what they get for like fighter pilots. It's like 0.16. So 0.16 of a second is the fastest reaction time possible. The fastest action time is 0.13. So, we're going to go with straight up, already out, already pointed at me and all that jazz. So one thing already, this is a no-go. I'm in a bad spot. I'm too far away. From here, I'm too far away. This is bad, I'm dead. There's a cone coming off the end of the barrel. It goes all the way out. And what your goal is to get to the outside of that cone before they can pull the trigger. So Hands up, I don't want anything, man. I'm good. I don't want to fight, right? You've seen Dust urban survival training. Everybody's seen the TikToks. He'll be like, oh, you just grab the slide. And now the gun's disabled. And then because hands aren't made to hold things, you can just take it from him. Wrong. I'm not grabbing. I'm barely moving at all. My first want is to get off of this line. I want to get 3 inches over. First thing, if I'm out here, lower chance, right? So I'm going to show the party trick. There's nobody behind me. Point it at me. Pull the trigger whenever. That's the party trick. Turn, rotate. Point it at me whenever I'm ready to move. I'm moving my whole body off center line as fast as I can. I'm falling with speed. Meanwhile, I'm using this hand to push the thing to the side of me. From there, it gets scary. Because yeah, I've missed this shot. I've got past this, right? But now I have to deal with, this is still a gun. This is still terrifying and dangerous. From here, my best bet is to go for a takedown, get a knee, get the other knee, put them to the ground, and hopefully in slamming them to the ground with the gun out, they lose it. Because that's a lot of force. If not, it becomes a scramble to two on one that hand. And keep it not facing me. And do as much as I can to make sure this doesn't get in my general area. Past that, like from here, if he's got the gun pointed at me, boom, I'm dead. Nothing I can do. He's faster. Even if I get started and I move, like, done, right? It's a good shot, it was right at the heart. Your better chance of survival is to get it before the gun comes out of the holster. I used to do close quarters seminars with officers way back when, in like 2013, 2014. I trained with my local police department. We did a seminar called Fight for Your Weapon. And the whole point of it was cops were too enamored with the idea that they'd just be able to pull the gun out and point it at whatever person was trying to use a $20 bill, right? So they would do that, and me and my boys, my instructor, my assistant instructor, all of my other trainees, would just clown on the cops because they go for their gun. And the first thing is, I'm going to glue this to your hip so you don't have the ability to draw it. And then the next thing is, I'm going to hit you. And I'm going to hit you and hit you and hit you until you get the idea that maybe this isn't what you should be doing. Maybe this is a hindrance. And maybe you should try and let go of the gun and deal with the fact that somebody's punching you before you pull the gun. So if they go for their gun, boom, I'm on it as fast as I can, right? Got that hand, got that hand. I go for a leg, maybe. Go for the takedown. I'm not going to slam it to the ground, just hardwood. If you can get to it before it gets out, much better chances than if it's already pointed at you. So, any other questions? We got time to kill. Long rifle? I don't have a long rifle here. If somebody's pointing a long rifle at you and you're close enough, and this is your distance, man, you really screwed up. Like, I can understand a pistol. They hide it in the waistband, right? You're not entirely sure it's there until it's there. But I'm like, la-di-da-di-da. Oh, that is an M16 pointed at me. Oh, I do believe I'm being mugged. Hello, sir. If there's a long rifle pointed at you, I don't know, man. Try and use it as a lever. It's longer, You can maybe get a better lever on the actual firearm and try and pull it away from them because it's a bigger object, it's a bigger lever, you have more fulcrum. But man, I've never had a long gun pointed, well, that's a lie. The Amish do not respect border rights, all right? Yeah, any other questions? Depends. If it's a knife, your best bet is to try and incapacitate them or do enough bodily harm to them that they don't want to follow you anymore or cannot follow you anymore. If it's a gun, I'm not even fast for like a normal person because I'm kind of big, I'm kind of chubby. I'm not as fast as a bullet. I want to, generally you want to create space with weapons until you don't want to create space. If I want to collapse space because it's better to be safer and closer to somebody who has a weapon, then I'm gonna hit them. I'm gonna hit them, I'm gonna hit them, I'm gonna hit them. You know, if they present a nice unsupported fleshy limb, I'm gonna break it. I'm going to do whatever I can to incapacitate them with excessive force. Too many people watch too many kung fu movies or self-defense videos that think it's, or karate. Karate loves to teach the block, hit, run technique, which is I block you, I hit you, and now the fight is over somehow because my one punch was able to knock your soul from your body. I am not the ancient one, all right? I'm not a Marvel superhero. So instead of block, punch, and run, it's block, punch, 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 grip, knee, 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 elbow, elbow, put them to the ground, stomp, stomp. Do whatever you can. Be vicious. Fighting is not pretty. It's not an art. I had a lot of people who would get really mad at me. I don't tell people I'm a martial artist anymore. I tell them I'm a boxer, or a wrestler, or I do kickboxing. Because when they hear the term martial artist, they're like, oh, I want to spar you. And they think what that means is that they can go as hard as they want to because you're a martial artist. I've watched Ip Man, I've watched Flying Dragon, Hidden Tiger, whatever. They think that a martial artist is somebody who has enough skill to like very gracefully block and make you look like a fool and be like, haha, I have beaten you. And they get really upset when they're like, I want to spar you, and they start swinging hard like they want to take your head off. And instead of going, haha, I am blocking you, I am the Wing Chun master, you go, all right, boom, 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 boom. I'm not in the business of getting myself hurt. If you call yourself a martial artist and somebody wants to spar you, usually they think you're going to be nice and gentle to them, and they get really upset if you hit them. But if you say, I'm a boxer, oh, I don't want to spar you, you're a boxer, you're just going to hit me. Yeah, what do you think I was going to do as a martial artist? Tickle you? So, I hope that kind of answers it. I went into a tirade. As I do. Any other questions? We've got time. We've got loads of time.
What happens if you come across Steven Seagal?
If you come across Steven Seagal, point at him, laugh, say Aikido is bullshit, and then walk away. What's he going to do? Chase you? He's Steven Seagal. The only thing I will give Steven Seagal is he makes... what's that Aikido technique? I think it's called like Hatsure Naga. He makes it work. So, stand up. There's a technique in Aikido where essentially here's the first thing. They think that you're gonna get hit like this, right? So throw that knife strike, right? In Aikido, they think that you're going to be able to do this, pass it along, turn it, pull it, and then do this, and they'll fall over like magic, right? Steven Seagal makes that technique work against actual aggressive attackers because he recognized what it really is. It's not a flowy, gentle, sweeping, no. It's a clothesline. Punch me. Boom, boom. And if you ever watch the dude do demonstrations, his Aikido is just him being a big guy, putting his arm out and doing this to people at high speeds. But even then, it's Steven Seagal, man. Point at him, laugh. If he tries to do something, kick him in the belly. Like, I don't know. Shoot. Sorry. I think I know where you're going with that question. There are no rules in a street fight. However, I do not advocate biting, eye gouging. I don't advocate fish hooking. I don't advocate any of that stuff because it's low value. Like groin shots. Remember that whole action versus reaction thing? Fighter pilots, 0.16 reaction speed, right? Everybody else is about a 0.22. Except, if you're gonna kick them in the nuts, then it bumps up to about a 0.17. Guarding this, subconsciously, is a faster reaction time. Guarding this is a faster reaction time. So that throat punch, they'll just do this, and you'll end up pushing into their chin. Eye gouging, right? Poke. If I can't land a jab, how am I going to land eye poke? And even then, if I can land a jab, why would I go for an eye poke? I would just punch them. Biting, if somebody puts, real easy, put your own arm in your mouth and push. It hurts. It doesn't hurt your arm, it hurts your jaw, because your jaw is not designed to do that. Right? I love, there's an interview with Boss Rutan, who is an old pre-UFC MMA fighter. He was in Japan, and somebody was showing off their like magic touch 1-inch punch death blow thing. And Boss was like, what happened if I have you in a chokehold? And they're like, oh, we would simply poke you in the eyes and you would let go. Boss is like, how? Why? Why would I let go? They're like, because you've been poked in the eyes. It's very painful. He's like, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in a chokehold, and you're going to poke me in the eyes, and then I'm going to break your neck, and then I'm going to let go. And the person was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you poked me in the eyes. I'm not just going to let go. Like, I'm going to go, ow, that hurt! And I'm going to snap your neck, and I'm going to let go. Because you've been dealt with. So I don't, the only way I'm going to go for an eye gouge is if, like, I'm already kind of winning. Like, if I'm on top and I can index their head, so I'm not trying to hit a moving target with these, I'm indexing the head and then going in with the thumb. And at which point, if I'm already on top in a dominant enough position to do that, why would I go for the eye gouge when there's so many different options? Karate, though, a lot of people will shit on karate because it's here and here and here, right? If you train karate right, karate's scary. Ask Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That dude, all he does is karate. And he's knocked out some of the meanest UFC fighters. Because he doesn't do the yeah. He's like this, he's here. You come in for a punch, right? And he's off, and he's back. He's very springy and snappy for like a 45-year-old. He's mobile, he moves, and he's got incredible range. The range from like a regular kickboxer, like the range for a Thai kickboxer is here, right? Because I can deliver the punches, I can step in and elbow, I can throw a head kick. But Steven's range is out here, because he can cover the ground fast enough from here to deliver some crazy strikes. Because he'll be like, bouncy, 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 boom! So karate's useful. I hope that answered your question, more or less. We got the time. 12:45. So I got about 5 minutes. Shoot.
So I have a basically exclusively wrestling background,
Okay.
and I love doing more mixed stuff. I find myself very vulnerable in the guard position in particular. So, yeah, breaking bad habits, kind of, in a way.
Honestly, you should embrace it. If they're in guard, if you're in their guard, there's a lot you can do to score them out of guard. You can drive your elbow into their leg, push your knee through, and then score them up to half guard, to get to side control, to get north-south, to do whatever you want from there. Or you can just say, you know, I'm here, I'm going to throw a couple of elbows to the ribs, and then I'm going to posture up, and I can try and hit them, or I can try and post one of their arms, go for a Kimura. It's practice. You'll learn as you go along. Jiu-jitsu guys kind of have a leg up on you because wrestling is 10 minutes. Thank you. Wrestling has switched focus from submissions to pinning in the past like 150 years. But you know, we've got submissions in wrestling. They're toe hook. You'll stick with it and you just keep practicing. And honestly, if you get a day where you're training and they're like, there's an extra hour of jiu-jitsu you want in, say yes. It's good to be well around. Any other questions? I've got 10 minutes. I like talking, especially about how to hit things. Anything? Nothing? If you got somebody coming up behind you, the last moment, so keeping my ears open, I'm aware of my surroundings from running. If somebody's running up behind me, just run up and just grab me behind the neck. Grab me behind the neck. Come on. I know I ragdolled you, but I didn't ragdoll you that bad. Yeah, I have one more question. If you find yourself in an alleyway in a 80s action movie where the bad guy is an underground punk drug seller, honestly, if you're in an alleyway, you want to make sure that you are not cut off from the exit to the alleyway. So if it's a dead-end alleyway, you want to be as close to the open end as possible. You want to make sure nobody is between you and the open end. And you want to make sure that your back is not to the closed end or the open end. So yeah, hang out by the wall. Post up on the wall. Your right and your left is open. You do have a little bit of a blind spot because if I'm up against the corner of an alleyway, there's a whole this to the outside that I can't see. So somebody could come around the corner and they're on me, but it's all about mitigating. So yeah, try and keep the exit open. Yeah, keep going. Kind of. Making a lot of noise can get a lot of attention, but the issue with getting a lot of attention generally is, I mean, you've seen fight videos on Facebook or YouTube or Royale or whatever. It's just a lot of people shouting, and the fight is still going, and everybody's recording it. So So you're not going to necessarily get help unless 1 in 10 chance you get that one guy who's like, I'm going to be super macho and help without any information about what happened to this. Because people don't want to get involved. But, I mean, if you scream help, there's more people there to see. That way when the cops show up, more people can identify. That's your best option for that. Yeah. Do you have a question? Shoot. During a fight, what's the best thing you can do? Shut your brain off. Don't think. Do. Like I said, I've spent 12 years doing martial arts. Do you think that when he had the Nerf gun pointed at my face, my brain went, okay, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this? No, man, I just turned my brain off and let the body do it. It's all muscle memory. Like, if I had to think, okay, I'm going to throw a jab, cross, hook, knee, that's slow. The other guy's already foiling my plan while I'm making it. I'm just going to shut off the brain. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I'm going to move. I'm going to move as fast as I can. If you're injured, if you're injured in a fight, I'm sorry, I missed the first part of the question. If you're injured in a fight, you're in a fight. Most of the time, a fight is going to be a lesson in mitigating pain. So I had one person, last time I did this panel at BLFC, ask me, what happens if somebody grabs your hair? And I'd never thought of this, because I don't have a whole lot of hair to grab. Like, it's not a thing that I have to worry about. So I was like, well, what does happen if somebody grabs your hair? Step on up. Get a handful of this pomade, greasy ass head. Right? My thought process was, okay, I'm going to grab the back of the wrist, not the hand. Because with the hand, if I'm grabbing the hand, he still has the ability to move the hand. But if I pin the wrist to my head, like, there's less movement here. My next thought process was to come to the elbow and create a fulcrum and use my head to push through and then strip the grip by just pulling. And that's going to hurt. My hair is going to get pulled and it's going to hurt a lot. But it's better for a little bit of pain than a lot of pain. So if you're injured, if you've rolled your ankle, if you've sprained your knee, if you've broken your hand, try and baby it a little. 5 minutes, cool, thank you. Try and baby it a little. Try not to injure it further. But if you've got the opportunity, throw the hand. You notice a weird thing with my thumbs here? Notice how one's shorter than the other? When I was 18 years old, I got into a bad fight where I had about 6 guys with steel-toe boots doing an Irish jig on my head. So I covered my head like this, right, with my fingers splayed out nice and wide. And one boot came in and contacted the base of my thumb and broke my thumb in half. So they had to shave the bone down, reset it, put a pin in it, yada yada. So now my one thumb is shorter. But when I had the chance to stand up after getting kicked a bunch, one person decided to come up from behind me and hit me in the back of the head. And he did. And I turned around with as much momentum as possible with my broken hand and swung on him. And he went, good night. And I kept moving. And my hand hurt like a bitch. But pain comes with a fight. So just learn to fight through it. Adrenaline will do a lot for you. Yes. You have one more question? Like if you got behind the head? Honestly, if you got behind the head, I would think the best thing to do at that point, stand on up. I've only got like 3 minutes here, so I'm going to try and run through this real quick. If you've got the back of my head, just put your hand on the back of the head, right? Grab the wrist, right? And I'm going to drop levels and turn. So I'm at least facing them. So they've got the back of my head can do a lot of stuff with the back of your head, right? One of the things in wrestling they teach you is if you've got control of the head, you've got control of the body. But from here, I can at least grab a leg, do a leg pick. You know, I can do a toe grab. I can, you know, I can try and stand up higher so that we're at least here, and I can get a half plumb. But I'm basically trying to make sure that they don't pull the hair by keeping the hand pinned. I had no idea. I didn't know what I looked like till I got to my friend Brando's house and spat up about 1.5 cups of blood. Yeah, I didn't know how bad it was until I got to Brando's house, spat in the sink, and looked up at the mirror. I had 2 8-ball fractures, which is where your eye turns black. My cheeks are flatter than they used to be because both of them were crushed. My nose is no longer the perfect center of my face, it's a little off to the side. All of my teeth have spider chipping in them to this day. It causes dental issues. I have really bad memory issues because I've got concussions. What else is going on? For about 6 months after the fight, I couldn't feel from the center of my face to my jawline. It was pins and needles every hour of every day for 6 months. And, I mean, my hand was broken. I was a swollen mess. My dad nearly killed me when I got home. He ripped me a new one. So, I think I'm out of time. Am I out of time, AB? Yeah. Okay. I would love to sit and talk and answer more questions because I love talking about this stuff, but that's all the time we've got. Thank you so much for coming to my panel.